Good day, everyone. This is Jenny's Fashion Channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill. And today, I'm going to teach you how to cut this beautiful bustier dress with a deep neckline at the back. So if it is what you are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to take 4 inches off like so, okay? The 4 inches I'll take off is what I'm going to use for my sleeves, okay? So I'm going to come down by 6 inches for my neckline, placing my tape like so, taking 4 inches off. Then I will come down by 6 inches. That is from the baseline, I will come down by 2 inches. I will mark and draw the line. Then I will come down by 10 inches for my bust line. I will mark and draw the line. Then the next thing is to get my under bust line. And for me to get my under bust line, I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches from the bust line. But if you're of a smaller size, you come down by 3 inches. If you're of a bigger size, you come down by 4 inches. I will mark and draw the line. Then I'm going to come down by 17.5 inches for my waistline. And I'm going to add half an inch joining allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then the next thing is to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. Then I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then on this my neckline, I'm going to add 1 inch to what I have on this my bust line. I have 4 inches all together there. That's my nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2, 3.5 inches plus half an inch, 4 inches. Then I'm going to add 1 inch to it. It will give me 5 inches. I will mark it on the neckline. Then I'm going to connect it to the bust point like so. Then the next thing is to get my under bust dart. And for me to get my under bust dart, I'm going to take the difference between the bust line and the under bust line. And I have 3.5 inches there. So I'm going to divide it by 2. It will give me 1.75 inches. I will divide 1.75 inches by 2 again. It will give me 0.88 inch. Then I'm going to take 0.88 inch to the left and 1.75 inches to the right. That's if the difference between your bust line and the under bust line is 4 inches. You divide the 4 by 2. It will give you 2. Divide 2 by 2 again. It will give you 1. Take 1 to the left and 2 to the right. Are we on the same page? Then I'm going to come down from this bust point by 1 inch, okay? This is to remove any form of pointiness on the bust area. I will mark and connect to the under bust dart like so. Then I'm going to connect the under bust dart straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then the next thing is to get the over bust dart for the over bust tightening. Then I'm going to go in by 1 inch and go out by 1 inch. I will mark. Then I will go up by half an inch from this bust point. I will mark and connect to the over bust dart like so. Then I will connect the over bust dart straight up to the baseline. Then the next thing is to take my shoulder measurement divide by 2. And the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15 inches. If it is being divided by 2, it will give me 7.5 inches. I will remove 1 inch from it. It will give me 6.5 inches. Then I'm going to replace this dart intake here. I will mark it. Then the next thing is to get my armhole depth. And for me to get my armhole depth, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to come down by 8 inches, okay? Taking 4 inches off, okay? You know, we are going to use 4 inches, okay, for the sleeve. So I'm going to come down by 8 inches. That is from the baseline. I will come down by 4 inches. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line from the armhole depth point as my chest line. Then the next thing is to get the armhole curve. So I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4. I will mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then I will take my horizontal measurement on the chest line. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. On the bust line, I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4 plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. On the under bust line, I'm going to take my under bust measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. Then on the half cut line, I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the joining allowance line like so. Then I'll connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. Then for the neckline, I'm going to fold this my dart intake, okay, for me to put my neckline, so it's not going to affect it in any way. So I'm going to fold it like so. Then I'm going to connect like so to give it a round curve. So guys, that's it. I'll go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, that's it. You can see how perfect it came out. You can see that the neck curves align. We now move over to the back panel. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will take out my zipper allowance and I'm using 1 inch for my zipper. I will mark and draw the line. Then I will come down by 10 inches for my bust line, taking 4 inches off, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. Then I will come down by 17.5 inches for my waistline, and I will add half an inch for joining allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then on the bust line, I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it straight down to the joining allowance line like so. Then the next thing is to get my dart, and for me to get my dart, I'm going to go in by half an inch from those points and go out by half an inch. Then I'm going to extend this my bust point with 1 inch. Then I will connect like so. Then on the baseline, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. Then I'm going to minus 1 inch, okay? Just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark it. Then the next thing is to get my armhole depth point. Then I'm going to take 4 inches off, okay? Then I will come down by 4 inches from the baseline, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line from this armhole depth point as my chest line. Then the next thing is to get my armhole curve. Then I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4. I will mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then for the neck curve, I'm using 5 inches for my neck weight. So I'm going to measure it on this my baseline. I will mark it. Then from this half cut length line, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect these 2 points like so. Then I will take my horizontal measurement on the chest line. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. On the bust line, I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4 plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. On the half cut line, I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the joining allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. Then on this my waistline, I'm going to go in by half an inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to take my zip allowance, okay? I'm going to follow this my line, okay? That's from this point that I went in by half an inch. I'm going to start taking my zipper allowance from that half an inch I went in with. Then I'll carry on like so. Then I'll connect my markings. So guys, that's it. I'll now go ahead and cut. So guys, basically this is it. It is that simple. Then for the sleeve, the width of my sleeve is 1.5 inches, okay? So on this front part, okay, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches, okay, from these points where you can see I place my tape, okay? So I'm going to use 1.5 inches as the width of my sleeve, okay? And remember, we remove 4 inches from our shoulder, okay, when we are cutting the dress, okay? So that 4 inches is what we are going to use as the length of the sleeve. That's 4 inches for the back and 4 inches for the front. So altogether, I have 8 inches. So I'm going to add 1 inch to it, okay? It will give me 9 inches. So I'm going to use it to cut out my sleeve. So 9 inches will be the length of the sleeve. So the first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will come down by 1.5 inches, okay, as we measured on the shoulder of the dress, okay. I will mark and draw the line. Then for the length of the sleeve, already we have calculated 9 inches, okay, and this my pattern paper is unfold. So I'm going to divide the 9 inches by 2. It will give me 4.5 inches. I will mark it and connect like so. You know, this is where you're going to place the sleeve, okay? This part, okay? So this curve we have here, we are going to make it to reflect on the sleeve. So I'm going to place it like so to give it the same curve. And on this down part, I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then on this upper part, I'm going to go out by 2 inches. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I will go ahead and add 1/2 inch for joining allowance on all these parts, okay? I will mark and I will connect my markings like so. Sorry, I didn't realize that my camera went off, but see what I did here, okay? I replicated what I have here because this part is the part that will be going on the front part of the dress, while this part will be on the back, okay? And this curve that is on the front part is not on the back part. So I stopped it on at this point, okay? So this is where I stopped for the back panel. Then I added 1/2 inch for joining allowance. So guys, this is just it. You can see how perfect it came out. So this is where we are going to join the sleeve. This is how it's going to look like after joining the sleeve. So guys, this is it, and this is all I have for you for today. So if you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.